All right, guys. Thank you all for coming this weekend to recognize our wrestlers, our parents, coaches, board, just everything that went into making this season exactly what it was. I want to start off by saying that this is my 26th year as a wrestling coach, and without a doubt, 100%, this is the most fun and most enjoyable time that I've had with any group of kids and coaches and parents and everything. The day after the state tournament, Monday, I remember texting the coaches. It just felt really weird to not go to the wrestling room after school and practice. So, I mean, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank all of you before I begin, in case I forget anybody, that this is really the most enjoyable 4 months that I could ever ask for. So, thank you all. So, our season was nothing less than amazing, in my opinion. Looking back at it, I don't know that I would change a single thing. We had our fair share of stressful times and long tournament days and maybe a hurt feeling or two here and there. But in the end, I mean, what you guys accomplished on the mat and off the mat and in the classroom as well is really, truly amazing. So you guys are really a special bunch of kids. I'm going to miss the chemistry that we had going on. I'd like to take a moment to thank everybody that kind of went into just making this season what it was. And first off, the board members. You guys, you did everything that you needed to do to make sure that on the back end of things, it was all taken care of. Tournaments, concession stands, the hospitality rooms, travel, food for when we traveled. I mean, you guys took care of a lot of stuff that in the past I've had to do, and you just saved me a lot of time and a lot of stress, so I really appreciate all you've done. The funding that went into the season, we're a really well-off program. Nothing the kids didn't want for anything. We were able to provide an awesome room, tons of workout equipment. We were able to travel, got new warm-ups, nice singlets, anything that we needed, the Booster Club was able to take care of. So I really appreciate you guys putting the effort in to get that done. My coaching staff, over here, you guys are really the best coaching staff in the world, in my opinion. I enjoyed everything that you guys did. You each contributed your own, piece into the puzzle, and I enjoyed working with all of you. We have Coach Brown, who is the Cobb County Assistant Wrestling Coach of the Year this year. I tried to talk them all out of it, but they all wanted to pick Tony, so no, congratulations, Tony. To the parents for coming to all the away tournaments, it was really nice to travel to all the different weekend events and away duels during the week and see a lot of our parents up in the stands. We've had some events where a team will come to us and they bring 1 or 2 parents. We look up in the stands and we see 20, 25 parents up there and fans supporting our wrestlers, so I appreciate that. And then lastly, to the person that I neglected to thank last year at the banquet and feel horrible for doing, Kelly. Thank you for everything. So, as soon as I got home last year from the banquet, I received multiple text messages and it wasn't a good situation. For those of you that don't know, I'm really easy to get along with, and I never complain about anything at home, so Kelly has it really easy too. So just a couple of our season stats that I'd like to talk about. It's a full page long. It's amazing what we did this year. Last year we had a heck of a season. We won the Cobb County tournament. We finished as state runners-up. We had 8 state medalists, and we graduated a lot too. So I think a lot of people kind of discredit us coming into this season. What's Lassiter going to be able to do, missing this person or missing this person? And then when weight assessment comes and the final rosters are set, I'm looking at the roster, I'm like, well, we don't have a 195, a 220, or a 285. That's 18 points that we're down in every single duel that we go into. The Cobb County tournament this year, we entered 8 people. We had some illness and some things like that, and we still came away with a runner-up trophy. So our accomplishments for the 2021-22 season, Cobb County team runners-up, 3 county champions, region duels runner-up, that was close to. state quad first place. That was a big, exciting day. We go down to Brunswick, and we come away with a top 6 finish at state rules, giving up 18 points. Traditional region champs, 6 region champions, 11 sectional qualifiers, 11 state qualifiers. That's pretty amazing too. 5 state medalists, 2 state champions, 8th place in traditional finish this year. We were voted the Cobb County Wrestling Association Team of the Year. We have 4 all-county first team members, 1 all-county second team member, 2 all-county honorable mentions. Our varsity average GPA, our varsity lineup average GPA this year was a 3.37. So that's... The Cobb County Wrestling Association also, along with recognizing Coach Brown, also named May co-female wrestler of the year for the county. Our individual stat leaders, I mail them out every Sunday on my long newsletter that I think some of you didn't read, especially my own son. Top 5 wins. David with 46, Anthony with 44, Carter with 42, Noah with 41, and Riley with 39. Okay, that's a good record. Noah was pinning kids all year. Leads the team with 29 pins, Anthony with 26, Riley with 24, Jacoby tied with 24, David with 21, and Carter with 21. And takedowns, David leading with 98 takedowns, Sam with 81, Riley tied with 81, Noah 77, and Anand with 69 takedowns. So. The last little bit of thanks. Thank you to the Fiorenza family, who is still here working now. The pictures that are on our website, all of the videos and all of the Flickr links and everything, the pictures are amazing, and they're there for you to download for free. So thank you for everything. I appreciate the senior day pictures and everything. They'll stay up on our website until next season, so if you haven't gone to LassiterWrestling.org, check it out. Every single event that we've had throughout the whole season is on there, video and stills for you to download too. And then lastly, our administration and teachers here. We did a good job in the classroom this year, guys. I didn't get any messages like, I need to talk to this person about behavior in the classroom or this person. You know, we had a few, maybe do a little bit better in this class, but for the most part, you guys did really well in the classrooms this year, and the teachers recognized it, so thank you again. This time, we're going to start with our junior varsity awards. As I call your name, if you'll come up, the coaches will present you with your certificate, and I'd like you all to stay up here until I'm done calling all the names so everybody can get a group picture of you too, okay? So, first for our junior varsity awards, we have Russ Beers. Come on up, Russ. Will Cochran. Zach DeMontany. Joshua Everton. year. There was a certain criteria that's set up for what it takes to be a varsity letter winner. So many match points, pins, percentages of your matches wrestled varsity, placing at certain tournaments, things of that nature. If you're a first-year letter winner, you will get the big L for Lassiter, and you'll get the little wrestler patch, and if you're a manager, you'll get a manager patch to go with it as well. If you're a second, third, or fourth-year letter winner, then you'll just get a little bar that you can sew onto it also. I put them all in envelopes for you because I found in the past that the little bars tend to get left on the floor. So if you've lost any from previous years and you need some, I have some left over. But the envelopes up here will have your certificate, your letter, your Scholar Athlete Award, everything else that you won't leave on the floor. First letter winner is Carter Brickley. Jacoby Connell. Adam Puddles. Fiorenza Square. You stop. Noah Flisser. Samuel Gadsden. Dima Krizik. Alex Lay. Alex, I'd just like to point out that out of all your coaches and all the tournament directors, I'm the only person that's pronounced your last name correctly. Anand Panabushi. Riley McElligott. David Pinone. May Prada. And Grant Ray. '22 varsity letter winners. Okay, smile, guys. Our special awards and our manager recognitions at this point. I'd like to start off with our Scholar Athlete Excellence Award. And again, I can't, being a teacher is 95% of my job. Coaching wrestling is the other 5%. So obviously academics plays a big role in you being even able to participate in sports. I've had a lot of communication the last couple of years with some college coaches, and really, I mean, it's no lie. The very first thing that they ask is, what is the student's GPA? And what is their course load like? And what is their behavior in the classroom like? And whether you're an undefeated 4-time state champ and you have terrible work ethic in the classroom, you know, that's going to probably move over into college too, and coaches are going to stay away from that. They're way. We just had a football player who is not the biggest football player. He's not the fastest. He's a very gifted athlete, but he's a tremendous student and a tremendous just person behavior, and UGA decided to take a gamble on him and sign him. That says a lot right there about what college coaches are looking for. They're looking for, you know, is your social media clean? Is your discipline record clean? what are your test scores like? What's your grades like? So if you plan on going and wrestling, lacrosse, whatever sport it is at the next level, make sure that you're taking care of things in the classroom first. And this person has checked the box on all of those. He's an excellent person. Behavior is great. He's exceptionally respectful. And he has a super low GPA of 4.615. So congratulations, Alex. I don't know if I've ever seen a 4.615. Alex is also an all-county scholar athlete, and then the Georgia Wrestling Coaches Association put out their all-state academic team, and Alex and Carter and Isaac are all on that team. So congratulations. Next is our Most Improved Award, and I think that this was a unanimous vote amongst the coaches about who the most impressive wrestler was that, from years past translating into this year. This person had primarily wrestled JV the last couple seasons, and something snapped over the summer when we came into the room. He was ready to go, and he did what he needed to do, and he ended up being a county medalist, a region finalist, and a state qualifier. Dima. Next is our Coaches Awards. And again, I wish that I could give every single one of you an award. I mean, this year was it was fantastic. I mean, I truly love all you guys, and I'm going to miss what we had going. But I asked all the coaches to pick the wrestlers that they wanted to recognize individually. And some had written a few things that I will give to you guys. Some of them were a little bit private. I printed them out and I'll give them to you to keep, to read over. I'm going to talk about a couple of the other ones out here. But first off, Coach New wanted to recognize Carter Brickley. I'd like to personally recognize Sam. I've known Sam for years, from when he was back in the junior program and Isaiah was wrestling. And what I've seen Sam from freshman to sophomore to this year, he's grown so much physically, obviously. He's huge. I don't know if you noticed that. But just mentally and academically, he's just grown tremendously over the course of the past year. I think he's turned out to be a great asset to Lassiter High School football program, the wrestling program, and I'm really, really excited to see what he's going to do for us next year on the mat. So congratulations, Sam. I'm proud of you. Coach Stu would like to recognize Grant. Grant is the true definition of putting the work in. He lives for off-season wrestling. If you don't see him at Lassiter, he's probably at level up, getting some extra work in. And Grant started the season off on the varsity team, and he was doing exceptionally well. And the way that our lineup shifted, I know it's not the type of finish that we wanted, Grant, but we appreciate everything that you contributed to the team. You were a great asset in the room, drilling with everybody. You picked the hardest partners to wrestle with each day, and I think you're going to have a fantastic senior season. Thank you. Recognize Riley. Riley, Cobb County tournament, he wasn't feeling his best. He was dealing with some fever issues and just not feeling up to par. So he'd win a match, and his mom would take him home for a little bit. He'd win another match, his mom would take him home for a little bit. And we got him through, and it wasn't the best that you've ever wrestled, but he fought all the way through, and is a Cobb County champion, a region champion, and 5th in the state. Coach Brown, since he's one of the biggest coaches, he had the most Coaches Award selections. So Coach Brown would like to recognize Dima, May, Jacoby, and Noah. If you could all come up, please. We talked already about Dima. The transformation that he's made since he's been in high school. He started wrestling in 5th grade. Okay, geez. What he accomplished this year was nothing short of amazing. Like I said, being a junior varsity wrestler the last couple of years, and to be down wrestling at Macon at the end of the season was pretty awesome. So good work, Dima. Noah. Noah is a workhorse. He was that way on the football field. He's that way in the wrestling room. There were a few matches. I think it was our goals in December when you tweaked your shoulder a little bit, and it was noticeable all season long. He was wrestling uncomfortably through pain, but it never stopped him. And he ended up being a Cobb County medalist, a region champion, and a state qualifier, and one match away from medaling at state. So. I think the plan is to wrestle next year somewhere. We've got a couple places that are interested, so hopefully we get to see Noah on the mat again next season. Congratulations. Jacoby's pretty much the same way as Noah. He was going through knee injuries and shoulder injuries. I know he struggled with his weight a little bit at some points during the season, but he's fun to watch. If any of you guys have really watched a lot of Jacoby's matches, they're super exciting. He can do things athletically that not a lot of us can. But I expect big things next year from Jacoby. He was a 5th place medalist last season. This season he fell just a little bit short, but he was still Cobb County runner-up, region champion, and a state qualifier. So congratulations, Jacoby. And then May. Smile. May had a fantastic end to her season. Obviously, the sport of wrestling is probably 99% male dominated. So anytime that you're a girl competing in a season where guys, you're wrestling guys 99% of the time, you're at a disadvantage. And May fought and clawed her way through the whole season. She ended up being a Cobb County JV finalist, a sectional champion, and our first girls state champion. There were three Cobb state champions, and we don't count Marietta because they're not Cobb County schools. So, but technically, May won the very first girls state championship for Cobb County wrestling. She was followed up by Kennesaw Mountain, but she was technically the first, just by 6 minutes. So, congratulations. Congratulations. At this point, I'd like to recognize our managers. So, if Alex and Cameron and Sophia and Alexa and Diane could all come up, please. The life of a high school wrestling manager is not exceptionally exciting or rewarding. You get to wake up super early at the same time as the wrestlers do. And you get to ride the cold bus to the tournament and sit there all day long in the stands and videotape some matches and clean up some blood on the mat and boo-boos for the wrestlers. And we never yell at you guys if you don't get the scorebook right? So No, seriously, these girls, they put a ton of effort in. They're there with us, matches, tournaments. Those of you that have watched our mat loss videos, that's all their work. Filming every single match, scoring every single takedown, every single escape, near fall pin, all those stats that I put out every Sunday are their doing. So, girls, we couldn't do it without you. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything that you do. You have to stay. You have to stay. Put more work in this season as our head manager than she needed to. She would sit there at our practice each day. Are you getting nervous right now? No. At our practice each day with her MacBook, fixing any errors that were in the book, texting me, making sure that this match score lined up with this match result. She taught the girls how to go into track wrestling and flow wrestling, and pull the brackets off and make sure all the names are correct. So our stat book this year has, the accuracy this year has never been this way before. So you are awesome, and I appreciate everything, and that gift is for you. You're amazing what you do. Thank you, Ben. The Big Ten Wrestling Championships finals are on at 4:30, and I hate to say it, but Michigan's winning right now. I hope that changes. So our last two awards, our first one that we're going to give out is our Lassiter Trojan Award. And this was started last year. And in the past, we've given out most valuable wrestler, and that just, coaches, I'd like to nominate this guy, and then we talk about it for a little bit. This one, we actually put some work in. Coach knew this is his child. He's created this award and put together this rubric, and it's awesome. And all throughout the year, after practice, Coach New would pull the wrestlers aside and talk to them about the various traits that we're looking for: integrity, leadership, courage, humility, teamwork, selfless service, quest for knowledge, and intestinal fortitude. And what all of those different traits mean to you as a person and as an athlete. And at the end of the season, all of us coaches, we take this rubric and we fill out all of the different categories. And for being the second year that we're doing this, some of the results were very, very close. But there was one individual that stood out, and it was really around maybe the week before Christmas when I noticed, and I think when we all kind of noticed that this change was taking place. He was becoming more vocal in the room. He was becoming a more leader, or a bigger leader at events, talking to kids after their matches about what they could have done a little bit differently, about what they did better, staying after practice and working with individuals. He truly is a once in a coach's career type athlete. So, David Pannone. So, I'd like to read off some of David's stats since he's been here at Lassiter. He has a career record of 180 wins and 14 losses. He's a three-time... You wait till it's kind of long, actually. So he's a three-time Cobb County champion and a four-time finalist. I still think that you had that win that first year. He's a four-time region champ. He's a two-time sectional champ. He placed third at the GHSA state tournament in 2020, and he was a Georgia state champion in 2019, 21, and 22, becoming Lassiter's first three-time state champ. He's a Fargo All-American. He was the Marietta Daily Journal Wrestler of the Year last year. He was the Cobb County Wrestling Association Wrestler of the Year last year. He's Lassiter High School's most decorated wrestler, and he's going to go on to wrestle next year at Belmont Abbey, and we expect big things out of you, David, in the future. So congratulations on everything. You're a heck of a wrestler and a heck of a person, and we're going to miss you around. Those of you that don't know that weren't here last year, what we do with this that we put a plaque in the room on the wrestling room wall, and we've been putting all the names down. So Anthony was last year's winner, and David is this year's winner. So along with all of your state accomplishments, your name will be up as one of the leaders in the room too. So congratulations. So the last award that we're going to give out today before our senior recognition is our Kevin Metzer Courage Award. And unfortunately, the Metzer family, they live in Hilton Head now, and Mrs. Metzer is dealing with some health issues, so they couldn't be here today. But this is the 9th time that I've given this award out as head coach at Lassiter. So I know the family exceptionally well. We keep in contact, and I know Kevin's story. So Kevin was a wrestler and a football player here at Lassiter before I even started in Cobb County, back in the early mid-2000s. And he wasn't the best athlete, but he had the heart of a lion. He would get bigger and stronger and faster every opportunity that he could. Unfortunately, going into his junior year, he wasn't feeling very well and was diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease. So that it took him out of football, it took him out of wrestling. But as he was going through the treatment, he was still at every football game that he could be at when he wasn't feeling ill. At every wrestling event when he wasn't feeling ill, he was there. The doctors thought that they were going to be able to clear him for his senior year. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way, but towards the end of his senior year, they found that it had gone into remission. So Kevin went on to UGA as a freshman, and towards Christmas of his freshman year, found that the disease had come back. Unfortunately, the second time around, his body was just too weak to overcome it, and Kevin passed away. So his family, they honor his name each year with the wrestling program by giving an award, the Kevin Metzer Courage Award. And that's left up to us coaches to pick. And Kevin was just an outstanding individual. He was not only, like I said, he was an above average athlete, but he was just a better person. He was a good student. He never had any discipline issues. He was active in the community, active in the church. He was the type of kid that every parent aspires for their kids to grow up to be like. And I can't think of a better person to honor Kevin with than by naming Anthony Fiorenza as our award winner. Anthony he's a special kid. You guys have done a really good job raising your son. He's optimistic. When we recognize the seniors, I'm going to read a little bio about all of them. Anthony's is this long. You really have to put it in like 9 font just to fit all on there. But last year was really, I think, when you kind of took your foothold as a leader on the team. Those of you that don't know, last year, Anthony had to wrestle in 4 different weight classes throughout the course of the season. So he wrestled at 160, 170, 182, and 195. The 195 was maybe there might have been some added weight hidden in a few places to make sure that he was at the minimum weight. But he won matches at all 4 of those weight classes. 195 was actually at the state tournament, and he had one of the fastest pins at 21 seconds at the state tournament at 195, weighing at maybe 73. Okay, and he didn't complain. He just did it. And this season was no different. Being a senior and a leader in the room, he was there motivating everybody. He was one of the first ones to show up and one of the last ones to leave every day. And I think that you did a good job of instilling what it takes for these younger wrestlers to be successful. And I think your reward this year, medaling at the state tournament, region and sectionals was a little bit sketchy. There were some moments where I'm like, this might be Anthony's last match. And he overcome, and he walked away with a state medal. So congratulations, Anthony. Stage, please. please, and stand by your portfolios. Don't drop that styrofoam. This is a hard group to replace. There are some awesome individuals in this group. A lot of these wrestlers I've known for a really, really long time. Dima, Alex, Anthony. I mean, you guys have been part of the wrestling program for, I think, most of the entire time that I've been here at Lassiter. So we do, as coaches, ask one thing, that you come back into the room when you're home next year, okay? So the room is always open to you guys whenever you need. You don't have to call, you don't have to ask, just show up. It's open to you whenever you want, okay? Even if you want to go that long. So I like to start, I asked the parents if they would send me some senior pictures or any picture that they'd like to use and a little biography about their athlete or their manager. So first, we'd like to recognize Alex as our senior manager this year. This was her first year managing. What made you come out to manage this year, Alex? Alex is a senior who managed for 1 year and learned a lot and enjoyed every moment of it. Did you really enjoy every moment? For the past year, she's been working for a local real estate company and is planning on getting her license right after graduation to continue in the real estate industry. She enjoyed how close the team was with each other, and there wasn't ever a dull moment. Congratulations, Alex. It's hard to recognize that this year. We have a lot of A's on the team. Alex Lay started wrestling in the Lassiter youth program in 5th grade. His high school career consisted of wrestling at 113, 126, 132, 152. Actually, he had some 160 in there too, didn't he? Beginning of the year? A little bit? Alex grew this year. He's gone to state twice for both dual and individual tournaments and was region champion this year. He also plays lacrosse for us and is a starting defenseman. Alex enjoys the outdoors where he hikes, bikes, does snow sports, and various water sports, and he intends to study engineering in college. Congratulations, Alex. This is our transfer, Andrew. I wish we had more time with you. I really do. I enjoyed being around you this year. Andrew Drew Jones started his sports interest in track and field, running the 100 and 200, 4x4, and 4x1 in middle and high school. During the summer months, Drew spent time studying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he developed a love for the sport. 9th grade year is when he decided to join the wrestling team at Whitewater High School. His passion grew to learn that sport also. He did transfer to Lassiter, like I said, his senior year because of the pandemic. Joined the wrestling team this year, and he'll be attending Georgia State University next year, so congratulations. Anant's love for wrestling came from an early age. He also started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when he was 7, and then got into wrestling in middle school. He's been wrestling all 4 years in high school. He's very passionate about wrestling, and when he graduates, he will go on to wrestle for Queen's University in Charlotte while pursuing a degree in business. He's a very analytical thinker, okay? A lot of the things that we had a problem with Anant in the room was that he never stopped talking. Okay? He was always loud, and we always had to correct him, and we were kind of... Anant never says more than about 2 words at one time. He looks at every wrestling match very critically and analyzes how he can learn and grow from the experiences. And I did not know this, but Anant, you're a foodie. He enjoys cooking and trying new dishes with his own flair. So we're going to expect some dishes from you at some point, okay? Congratulations, Anant. Adam Couple started wrestling for us as a middle school wrestler also in 8th grade in the youth program. He's wrestled at 106, 113, 126, and 138 across the 4 years in high school. Adam was a great teammate throughout his high school career and thoroughly enjoyed pushing through the tough practices and helping others improve. He enjoys being around his friends and staying active by going to the gym and playing other sports like basketball and soccer. Congratulations, Adam. We can skip over Noah because he's a Michigan fan. Noah Flisser is a 4-year wrestler, 3-year letter winner, and he's competed at 152, 160, 170, and 182. Noah was this year's region champ, 2022 All County second team, was a 2-time Georgia State qualifier, and he finished his senior season with 41 wins, 77 takedowns, and led the team with 29 pins. Noah lives with his father Mike, mother Heidi, sister Cameron, and plans to wrestle at Life and go to school for chiropractic. Congratulations. Dima began wrestling also in our junior program. He's wrestled, started 8 years ago in our junior program. Coach Brickley and Coach Brown have been there for him from the start. Thank you very much. Wrestling became Dima's favorite sport immediately, and he's been an important part of his life. Dima has shown great perseverance in his personal career and has been the part of numerous successful teams. During the senior season, Dima took 2nd place at region, was also a state qualifier, accomplishing the goal he set for his senior year. He'd like to thank his teammates for the great memories. Congratulations, Dima. Again, David is the type of athlete that coaches don't get very often, if at all, throughout their coaching career. He's been an integral part in what we accomplished last year and what we accomplished this year. And I mean, his stats that I read off, they speak for themselves. So he's got big things ahead of him. So congratulations, David. On the reading 06Mar that is in here. Anthony has been in the varsity lineup since his freshman year. There was an injury to one of our upperclassmen his 9th grade year, and it left a vacancy at 160 for Anthony to take over, and he never looked back from there. He was thankful that Coach Brickley placed faith and confidence and encouragement in him to fill the role for the team, and through hard work, he had moderate success. He had good success, and earned Lassiter's Breakout Wrestler of the Year for 2019. This is also his introduction to the invaluable mentorship of Coach Tony Brown. As a sophomore, he moved up to 170, although continuing to improve with the help of sparring with Coach Rollinson. He was 1 sectional win shy of qualifying for the state tournament. Anthony's junior season was nothing less than eventful. He earned wins and pins in 4 different weight classes in less than a month. 3 of those wins in 3 different weight classes came against rival Pope high school wrestlers. I like that. Which gave him a certain sense of joy. He started the season in the 182-pound weight class, while also wrestling bouts at the 170-pound class. At one point, he cut to 160 for the region and state duels, where he earned victory by pin versus Pope. After state duels, he lost a roster challenge match for 182 for the traditional tournament, and undeterred, he committed to wrestling at 195 and qualified for the state tournament. He earned a 21-second pin, the 5th fastest in the tournament at state, despite struggling to make the 174-pound minimum for 195. His perseverance earned him the Lassiter Trojan Wrestler Award for 2021. Entering his senior year, he quietly committed to placing at state. Although the ups and downs of the season sometimes made reaching that goal questionable, the guidance and sparring sessions from Coach Murray, Coach Shed, Coach Stu, and Coach New kept him plugging along. Over the adversity of elimination matches at both region and sectionals, he fought back each time to make the state semifinal and ultimately place 5th place in the state. In his 4 years at Lassiter, Anthony is grateful for many things. He values the camaraderie of his Lassiter teammates, his sparring partners, always valuing family. He was able to share success with his grandparents, parents, sister, and little brother. Having varsity wins on the same night with his brother Dominic was truly special. The trust placed in him and the mentoring received from Coach Brickley and the whole coaching staff has built bonds of gratitude that go far beyond the wrestling mat. So after we're all done, I invite you all to come up and look at the backdrops that we had on display, and then parents, feel free to take them when we leave tonight. So, but again, congratulations. congratulations, and you guys always have a place here at Lassiter. So thank you again for everything. In conclusion, again, I'd like to thank you all for coming. We still do have some recognitions that we need to do for the Cobb County Wrestling Association. The banquet or the award show date has not been set for that yet, so as soon as I find out when and where that's going to be, I'll get it out. So we do have some Coach Brown being recognized, the entire team being recognized, so you're all invited to that. So I'll get information out. I did want to touch a little bit about what's going on in the spring and summer into next year, and then we'll finish up. But spring freestyle and Greco wrestling is a must. Okay, if you have the time, just 2 nights a week, you really need to put a little bit of some time in the spring and summer. Coach Donovan, that's up there, does a great job. Level Up is 3.3 miles from our parking lot. So if I'll get some more information out. I know I've sent the schedule out and how to get in contact with him. But if you truly want to be a great wrestler next year, you need to be putting the work in the spring and in the summer. I know that some of you guys will get summer jobs, but we do have some summer practice schedule. I did send that out already. So if at all possible, if you can work it around your job, we really need to get you in the practice room over June as well. We are going to go to team camp at App State, and I looked at a few other places. I looked at some bigger name schools like Iowa and Ohio State, and a lot of those Big Ten programs and Big 12 programs are still kind of hindered by COVID regulations about where you can stay on campus and where you can't. A lot of them, you have to stay off campus at a hotel, and I just wasn't really interested in doing like that or doing anything like that. I want to be on campus in the dorms with the wrestlers because the bonding experience is just as much as the wrestling experience. And App State's coach made an effort to come find me at our state tournament and talk about his wrestling camp. And App State has done a fantastic job the last couple of years in their conference. He's a motivated guy. We'll be staying on campus. We'll be eating in the mess hall. We'll be staying in the dorms. We'll be able to do things as a team. So we're going to go to team camp the last week in June. So again, I'll get more information out about freestyle and Greco, spring season, our June practices, and then our team camp as well. But those of you that are planning on coming back and wrestling next year, you gotta put the work in. Okay, you gotta get in the weight room, and you gotta get in the wrestling room, and you gotta do as much as you can over the next 3 years of high school to make sure that you reach your ultimate level of achievement. So, again, thank you all for coming. Come up, look at the senior pictures, take some pictures, stay as long as you want. Go home and cheer on Ohio State and Big Ten championships. So, congratulations, guys.